What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the September installment in October of Que Padre, Fatherhood Talks, podcast about Latino fatherhood, fatherhood in general, relationships, mental health, and everything in between. I am one of your hosts, Froilan, and I'm here with my friend, El Cris. How you doing,
What's up?
Chris?
What's up, guys? What's up? How you guys doing? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches, buenas noches. Apologies to some people out there that were expecting us the last week of the month last month. I had this little thing called a wedding anniversary that I had to take care of first, so uh, I
Something
told Chris
insignificant. You know,
this just this little thing. But yeah, so I had to take the week off. Apologies to everybody who's out there. I know I actually did have a couple people message me and be like, "Hey, like what happened to the show? What's going on?" Like I was like, "Hey, I had things to do. My bad."
not the day
So
off, guys. The week. Okay, the week.
yeah. So we are back. On the plus side, you guys get to have two shows for October. So
Si Dios
we'll
quiere.
get it
Si
going.
Dios quiere.
Just get it. We might. I think what we'll end up doing is we're gonna have to either do it towards the
Nah, it'll probably be
end of the
alive.
week.
It'll probably be alive from what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying because the last Tuesday of the month is Halloween.
Oh, Chad, you're right. Even though I don't do
Simon.
shit, but yeah, you do.
So um,
We could probably do it that
so,
Monday
yeah, maybe we'll just hop on Monday and get done.
or
Um,
Wednesday, whatever.
So a ver qué funciona mejor for everybody, for us, and just for everything that's going down. So,
For sure.
um, yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I think we have a pretty interesting topic today, and I think we should be good to go. We are
What's up?
bringing in the people from Instagram
What's on your
right
mind?
now. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm just applying, inviting some people, or I'm starting the broadcast here on Instagram. Hoping this thing loads up because it be like that sometimes. There it is. So welcome, hello, Instagram world. It's good to see y'all.
Oh, look,
But
you joined the
today's
joined
topic
the
should be a good
podcast.
one. Uh,
Yeah.
Chris, why don't you announce it? This was one that you kind of came up with, but
Yeah, so obviously, we try not we're trying very hard not to repeat subjects, so on and so forth. But it's kind of hard, because everybody has kids in different age groups and whatnot, and some of us are reaching to a point where there's a big celebration, especially if you have girls. There's a big celebration in our Hispanic culture, right? Which is, I guess, if you want to call it, turning of age of a from a young from a girl to a young lady, right?
yep.
And that would be the quinceanera, obviously. When a girl turns 15, you know, and I can't say I've always had this questions because obviously, quinceañeras are fun to go
Mm-hmm.
to. Um, they're fun to if you're part of it. I guess I was never asked, but whatever. Um, but now that obviously I'm a parent, and not that I'm right there about to have a quinceañera, but I am about 5 6 years away, and obviously it's closer, and it's getting closer and closer. And my biggest thing is, and I already asked my daughter, and I know she'll probably change her mind once or twice, between these times, but I already asked her if she wanted to have one, and she said yes. But the reason she said yes is because she's been to a couple of her cousins' quinceañeras, and obviously, it's a It's a day of celebration of them becoming young women and young ladies, and you know, dolling them up, makeup, fucking dress, everything. You know, everything to the max for them. So it looks appealing, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my head, I'm like, fuck. If my sisters spend, I don't know how many thousands of dollars, shit, what 5 6 years ago. Imagine how is it going to be 5 6 years from now? You know,
Yeah.
double. So I asked, I go, you don't want a car better, or say we save your money and you
You
put
don't
it
want a
for
car?
college, put it for colleges. No, no, I want my party. You know, so is having a quinceañera in our culture a waste of money, or is it? Do we have to take, I guess, that rite of passage for our girls to take them seriously? You know,
Yeah. So
so
are quinceañera celebrations necessary? I'll put it like that. I mean, obviously, we're just kind of shortening it up. Or is it a waste of money? I think, for some people that are out there that maybe don't know, can assume the origin of the quinceañera, right? Um, let's look it up. I mean, everybody, when they're looking up for the origin, where did things happen? Where do they start? You look it up, right? So here, I'm going to share this real quick on here with our peoples. Um, el origen de la quinceañera, right? And let me
what's
know if
up,
you guys can
Joy?
see
What's
any of
up?
this stuff. Déjame ver si puedes ver esto.
I can see it, but it's like the right corner.
In the right corner. Oh, all right, all right. So, la celebración de 15 años.
No se ve bien.
Ay, no se ve bien esta cosa. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
A little bit more.
Mira, la tecnología. It's actually something that oh, you know what? There we go. ¿Quién sabe, bro? Anyway, so la quinceañera, let me stop sharing this. So la quinceañera, according to Regalos de Benedetto, whoever that is, la celebración de 15 años de una mujer tiene varios orígenes. La más probable es la costumbre proveniente de las grandes culturas precolombinas, aztecas y mayas de México que realizaban los ritos de pubertad para iniciar la entrada de la vida adulta y la aceptación de las responsabilidades de las mujeres. I mean, it's pretty laid out, right? It's essentially saying my daughter, this young woman, is no longer a little girl.
Right.
She is now a woman and can take on the responsibilities that come along with being an adult woman.
Correct.
Which, if we think about history and how things were done back in the day, was to
She's ready for marriage.
she's ready for marriage, she's ready to start having kids,
Right.
ready to start, you know, uh,
Family.
family and provide an heir or a successor,
Yeah, because there's definitely
king
no
or lo que
no
sea.
no independence back then. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's no I'm gonna make it on my own and I'm gonna go do this and do that. It
Simon.
was getting them ready for a husband, getting them ready for a family, and you know.
Yeah. And so now the question is, I mean, man, I have a little one, right? She's not even 5 yet, bro. I have a ways to go. But I'd be lying to you if I said I haven't had this conversation with the wife yet,
Yeah.
right? And I wouldn't say necessarily it's a waste of money, because obviously, I think nowadays la celebración no es la misma, right? La costumbre cambió. I think,
Yeah, and it's
right?
been changing from generation to generation.
Right? So now it's not necessarily, miren cabrones, aquí está mi hija y está lista. No, it's more like we're celebrating that you've crossed into a new época
I,
de tu vida.
I think
You're
it's just a
growing.
fucking party, bro. That's all it is. It's another party. It's a big ass party, and that's it. You know, if you really ask the person that's doing the quince años, and you're asking them, "Hey, why are you having this celebration? What's the whole point of doing this religious celebration? Because that's what technically is supposed to be, right?" Um,
I mean, is it?
well, yeah, I mean, at least from what I've always known, it's not like you have the actual ceremony at your house
Yeah.
and then go party at church. You know?
Not to be confused with Sweet 16.
No, no, of course not. Of
Okay.
course not.
For
Sweet
the people
16
out
has
there.
nothing to do with religious things.
Yeah.
So I guess
Um.
it's a matter of getting getting educated on how it either got mixed with religion,
Yeah.
you know, and how it got mixed with it being just a big ass celebration. Because I've also seen in parts where the child doesn't want to have a party, but la mamá y el papá insisten, no, vas a tener quinceañera porque en México va a decir, y tu abuela y tu tía y la comadre que va a decir de que no tienes quinceañera y a lo mejor ya andas ahí de este y el otro, y
And
that's when I consider it a waste of money. When the one that's actually turning 15 doesn't really want to do it or doesn't really care for it.
yeah. And I think in some situations um le ha pasado donde vemos que maybe a la mamá no le hicieron quinceañera
Mhm.
o no tuvo la fiesta que quiso o lo que sea. And, se aferra a ayudar
Well, I want
a
to say
hacer
that probably most of our
cosas.
moms didn't have them. At
Yeah.
least, at least our moms that are in their 60s or maybe a little later than that. I'm pretty sure they didn't have one.
Yeah.
And if they did,
Um,
obviously the celebration wasn't what it is now.
it wasn't as grandiose. That's right.
Right.
It was el rancho, lo que estaban haciendo, el rancho, lo que estaban haciendo, o lo que le pudieron hacer. A lo mejor no tuvieron vals, no tuvieron la fiesta, no.
Yeah.
Um, uh, so that's obviously that's that, right? Um, where do we come into this, right? Typically, right?
We, you mean as our generation or us as men?
Us as men, us as papas, like why
A
should
lot,
we
a
be
lot,
talking about
a
this?
lot of the times we have no saying. We just here's a wallet and fucking do what it has to be done.
Yeah. Again, generally speaking, situations are different for everybody out there. Pero culturally speaking, and especially in the Latino culture, if no hay novio que va a pagar la boda, no. It's o quieres tenemos que empezar a guardar dinero a los 11 años porque tu
That's
hija va a
another
querer quinceañera.
that's another topic later on. Marriage, does the father have to pay for everything?
Oh, don't get me started with that.
That's next month.
All right, we'll talk about that next month. Well, end of the month. But so I was thinking about it. I was like, man, we're over here going to talk about the coming of age of our daughters and how we're making these decisions, blah blah blah, right? Pero I think with everything that we're trying to do differently, right? We're trying to change the way that we parent, change the way that we're involved with our children's growth, education, y todo. Why not necessarily question or deny this quinceañera? Um, what Vero and I have talked about is giving Emilia a choice. Of course, you turn 15, we're gonna celebrate your birthday. It's not like we're not gonna celebrate your
Yeah, of
birthday, right?
course.
Like, yeah, we're gonna celebrate your birthday, but we're gonna give you a choice. You can have her party, or maybe we can use that money and buy you a car, or maybe we can use that money and we take a trip,
Yeah,
invite a friend or two, and we'll go to Europe.
yeah.
We'll go do something else instead of blowing it on a party on a dress you're never gonna wear,
Again,
on renting, this, getting our family drunk, you know.
yeah,
Um, why don't we give you the choice to make an adult decision now? ¿Qué quieres hacer?
yeah.
and let's wait out. You know, I want you to know we're still gonna celebrate your birthday. You're not, no, we're not gonna just not celebrate your birthday. But it's not a boda, and even then, at a boda, that's a different topic we can also talk on too. But anyway, you know, what do we do? What do you want to do, Mija? Let's this is meant to celebrate. You're 15 now. You're no longer a little girl. You are crossing into a different world where you're a little bit older and you should be able to make a little bit smarter decisions. Obviously, your
Yeah,
brain's not
just
fully
kidding.
developed yet, but we can
Right.
start to instill smart, educated decisions, right? And if she wants to have the party, pues qué le vamos a hacer? We gave her the choice, right?
Try as best as we can.
Right? We give her
Yeah.
the choice, and yeah. So then what do you do, right? And that's what Vero and I have talked about. What would you like to do? I think that's probably one of the ways that I'd want to approach it. And as Emilia's getting older, man, le gusta bailar, le gusta cantar. She's starting to get super like
Yeah.
super girly. She poses
Well,
and
she's growing
she
up,
likes
bro.
the
She's growing up and
dresses, and I'm like,
going to
ah, so.
school. She has a cousin around her age,
Mm-hmm.
so it's all that influences on how she can be, you know.
It's just
But trust me, they change. They change a lot. You
it's
know,
it's
I'll
rough,
tell you
bro.
this, bro. Adrian no longer likes trains. Okay, he's no longer into trains anymore.
Oh nah.
Nah. So it changes. Hopefully, like I said, like I told myself, obviously, whatever decision she makes, we're gonna try to go buy it, but at the same time, if she doesn't want to have it, then obviously economically would be better for us,
Of course.
because in a sense, I do think it's at least depending how big you want to go, it can be a waste of money because that money can be used a lot smarter. Um, that money could be used literally for starting the down payment on their home, or whatever the thing could be, getting them started on, or maybe a down payment for a car or whatever.
Yeah.
So you have all those options, but then again, just I think it all depends on how maybe how Latino you are growing up with your kids. If you are a churchgoer, is that implemented in your life or in your kid's life? Is your family a big influence on what you do as far as those type of life changing events, if you want to call it that? You know?
Simon.
So you got a little louder right now.
I did.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, all that depends too.
Yeah.
Um, for example, the ones that we've had in our family, as far as the older girls, my niece, my oldest niece, she had one, and it was pretty big, bro. It was pretty extravagant, pretty gnarly. But then
Yeah.
her sister didn't have one, and the sister is not technically a simpler person, but she doesn't like to be in the spotlight, you know.
Okay.
And then I have a couple other nieces that haven't done it. They didn't have one for whatever reason,
Yeah.
And obviously, life continues and life goes on, and you know,
Yeah.
maybe you spoil them in different other ways. I don't know. What does their people say?
Let me see. I haven't seen any comments here, but
Tough,
anybody out there on
tough
Instagram,
choice.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you guys are thinking out there, feel free to share your ideas and thoughts. Anybody out there in the YouTube world, if you're listening to us, wherever you're listening to us from, uh, send us a note, send us your thoughts. But I have friends. I have friends. A lot of my friends uh, that have kids are kind of like you, are getting to the age where those kids are getting older, right? They're gonna are they gonna have a quinceañera? Are they not gonna have a quinceañera? Like, what are they gonna do? How are they navigating those waters? Maybe they thought about it. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. You know, we have a combination of friends that are very traditional, and some that are maybe not so traditional,
Then again,
and
maybe just
you don't
to
know.
put a little switch on you on there. Maybe say by the time, say your daughter, by the time from now till she's like 13, 12, 13, she's never been to a quinceañera, right?
Yeah.
She was never exposed to it, so she doesn't know
Hmm.
what a quinceañera is.
Simon.
You know, do you still ask her? Do you still tell her about it?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you should.
You know,
Like, you don't want to get hit with it like right before.
did your sister have one?
We can get into that. At least my thoughts on it, right? But um,
My sister had hers.
how did that go?
Well, from what I remember back in the 80s, uh,
Ah, no mames, eres un
it,
pinchito pollillo, güey. ¿Qué estás
it was
hablando?
fun, bro. It was fun. And from what later on, I think what helped a lot was my mom knew how to sew, so my mom had made her dress, and she
No,
made
se agarró un
she
chingo
made
de
my
feria ahí.
brother and ours our outfit. And I don't know, my sister's was different. She didn't really choose como se dicen damas and what is it called? The boys?
Chambelanes.
Camelanes. She didn't really have any, but she just had the celebration, and we had a big party at a friend's house, and that's it. That's all I really remember. But she had it. I mean, she has her dress. There's pictures of it. They were always part of a quinceañera. I remember my sister and another cousin that's around her age. They were always in them.
Yeah.
There must have been like four or five of them. You know, so
Before I say what I want to say about that, um, and I'll segue from that into my sister's quinceañera. But we have a question from one of my friends here. So George on here actually he mentioned that his daughter actually didn't even feel like she wanted one until a year before. Right, so she grew up saying, I don't want one, I don't want one. It's okay, I don't want one. But when she was 14, it changed. So I
once all the
asked,
friends
hey,
started
I
seeing
asked,
them,
hey, what happened? What changed or whatever? Uh, and that's where he says that he thinks that maybe she got overwhelmed by the amount of people showing what it's all about.
yeah.
In other words, the party, in my opinion. The party, maybe the attention, maybe I don't know, maybe they liked all the
Yeah.
the Instagram opportunities or whatever. I don't know
Well, that that's
exactly.
more that's more now. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, those are the things that we're gonna have to run into, you
Yeah.
and I, right?
Yeah.
Especially you. You're coming up closer than I am. I mean, these are the things that are gonna come up, and uh, so that's the conundrum, right? So we want to give our kids what they want, right? But I mean, I guess if we got to take a stance here, I guess I'd be against it. I'd be against it, but I wouldn't like deny
Against
it.
like not having it,
I would be against having a
you would you would
quinceañera
you would
con el
hope that she said
vestido
no.
and the whole pageantry.
You
Yes.
would hope she said no. Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope she says no. I hope that she picks something better. Um, I'm hoping that maybe all the things that we're showing her, teaching her, that's in my head, right? That she'll decide that I want to do something else, right? Um, I don't know. We're gonna see what happens, right? Um, my friend George here is just posting right now. He says that it's a rite of passage.
Yeah, of
Going through
course.
the ceremony, people are attracted to performing rituals. Yeah, I guess so. I can see that. I think that kind of takes it back a little bit to the whole celebration being religious to a point, right? Is it being religious, going through the whole bendición regañada del padre?
I think more than everything, the church thing is yeah, la bendición.
Mm-hmm.
As far as you're going from a girl to a young lady,
Yeah,
and that after that you're basically just like any other party, just like a bautizo, just like a primera comunión. After that, you're not really obligated to do anything else because the culture obligation is the church part,
okay,
quote unquote, right? And
yeah,
I put it as a cultural obligation because if you were to ask your mom, it'd be an obligation, no
yeah,
questions asked, right? If you were to ask my mom or even my sister, rest in peace, my mom, it'd be a cultural obligation as well. It'll be a religious obligation. That's the non-questionable. That's the non-questionable part. The party is the questionable part,
Simon.
you know. But the party is what people are looking for, you know.
Of course.
The
Now,
party
I
is
mean,
what people
at
are
least
entitled.
now it's
Yeah,
like,
even before too.
vamos a la quinceañera. It's like, sweet. ¿En dónde va a ser? ¿A qué hora? And then after they find out where the party, oh, ¿y va a haber misa? you know, the misa is always like half of the people there.
Yeah, nobody goes.
Nobody goes to the misa. You
Nobody
know,
goes other than the
so
old people.
so 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 just to kind of touch on what my friend Fausto said here, um, is the whole ritual part of it is is only for the family. You know,
And that's how it
the
should be
people,
technically. I see it.
the
If I
people.
was if I was deeply into my culture and into the religious part, I think that'd be the most important part. That's what matters technically,
Yeah,
right? Because that's where you're getting the bendición from whatever religion you're into, and that's who is technically giving you the rite of passage.
Simon.
Versus having a booty shaking reggaeton fucking surprise
Baile
dance,
sorpresa.
you know? Y luego ahí sale el tío borracho and fucking the guy, el papá starts crying when he starts dancing with the daughter and
Simon. So for me, and I'm gonna take it back a little bit. I was a chambelán in maybe like 3 or 4 quinceañeras.
yeah.
I mean, I can think of them right now. I still talk to one of my friends, porque well, I mean, I still talk, I'm super cool with all of them. Like it's not like we're not friends anymore, but like obviously you meet their family and stuff. Like so you're really cool. But um going through the quinceañeras or whatever, my mom hit me with, "Te celebramos tus 15?"
Me too.
She goes, mira, te compramos traje, te vestimos bien. Y tus damas, nada más.
Yeah.
She almost closed me, fool. She said, tú
Get
solo
all the
nada
girls
más
for
con...
yourself.
Tú
Yeah.
solo y con 6 muchachitas.
Yeah.
Tú invitas a las amigas las que quieras.
Yeah.
Hey, what the fuck, right? But that kind of dives into the whole. My mom wants to keep. She wanted to have a quinceañera. La quería celebrar. She was
Yeah.
ready, right? Aunque sea el quinceañero. No, but and the thing is,
Nah,
it's
bro,
funny.
my
I'm
mom
like,
asked
what
me
the
too.
fuck?
My mom asked me too. I was like, Mom, what if we just have a party? Don't none of that church thing. We just have a party. No, 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 no. The same
Si
thing.
te vamos a hacer, yeah.
Te compramos tu traje, te invitas a cualquier muchachita que tú quieras, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just for you. I was like, hell nah.
Hell nah. Because I'm a man. But she's like, tu primo en México le celebraron sus 15.
Uh,
And I'm like,
and I've seen a
mm,
few. I've seen a
I
few.
think I've seen a handful, but
Yeah, I've seen a
but then
few.
again, it's like that's that's kind of breaking the norm in a way. Because obviously, again, thinking back of the origin, of the quinceañera, you know, it goes
They
back
were
to
getting,
to
they
the
were
to
getting,
the
they were getting,
women.
they were getting you ready for a husband.
Simón, ya me estaba alistando, güey. And si supiera que mi papá ya me había alistado, que
Yet you know
esconde la
that.
pistola, güey, no estás listo. Um, you know, and so this is kind of funny that that yeah, she probably was testing me, right? But so jump 4 years, jump 6 years. My sister, my sister's quinceañera. So my experience and what I remember from the whole thing was my mom picked the colors, my mom picked the dress, my mom picked everything. She
Bro, but that's
the
usually,
cake, she did everything, and my sister didn't want to because
yeah,
during that time, and I don't mean to put my sister on blast, but my sister was she wasn't so girly.
yeah.
She was super emo, bro. She was into My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, she wasn't into that shit.
She was. No, güey. Se ponía el pinche el makeup negro, güey. Así las uñas negras, bien rockera la muchacha, right?
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, it was super, like, out of character. Um, but I remember at one point she told me that she did it for my mom,
Yeah.
right? Which I get it, you know.
But what
Um,
shit don't we do for parents, bro?
you know. So I guess if you put it that way, right?
I can tell
If you
you
put it,
one that
I
you
did it
did.
for my mom, huh?
I can tell you one that you did, but we'll
Bro,
talk about it after.
un chingo de veces, güey. Un chingo de veces. And I still do sometimes. I shouldn't even know it. But anyway, um,
They know it. You know what it is, bro. They know it, but it's so difficult for us parents sometimes, and I'll include myself to sometimes be a little shameful of what it is that we ask about for from our
yeah,
kids. You know, because yes, we do want them to be fucking better than us. We do want them to do better
yeah,
than us. We do want them to reach whatever potential it is. And I think
exactly.
it's a little easier for them to be that now in these times because we are not what our parents were.
Yeah,
Meaning, um, we are more engaged with our kids. Even if we're not with our kids every single day, we are more engaged with them as far as school goes, as far as extracurricular stuff goes, as far as anything that has to do with anything outside of school or within
mm-hmm.
school, academically, sports, even them doing stuff on their own, even them
Yeah,
trying to learn about something.
mm-hmm.
On yesterday, um, obviously, I live fucking an hour away from my kids,
Simon.
and I normally see them once, twice a week, and they advised me that there was going to be a lunch with your kid. Have lunch with your kid day,
At
right?
school,
Yeah. And she asked me, "Daddy, can you come to lunch with me? Can you bring me lunch? I want to have lunch with you."
Simon.
¿Qué les dices, güey? Even if you can't do it, at least now we try. I always, even if I can't do it, if I don't have the day off, or even if I don't, if I know I can't do it, I'll try to switch it. I'll try to talk to whoever it is, and have the day off or half the day off. So that I'm
Yeah,
available there. And funny thing, dude, obviously I said yes, and right away my son found out, and he was like, "Dad, can I go with you guys?" So now I had to take him out of school early so that he doesn't feel left out.
yeah,
So what I'm trying to say is they have a lot better opportunity to be better than us because we are there for them. We are there
yeah,
for them a lot more than our parents were. And I don't know, maybe our parents couldn't, or maybe they just didn't want to do it, or maybe they just didn't want to ask, or were embarrassed to ask, or scared to ask if they could miss the day.
Yeah.
So, I think those are some things that we have to, as parents, take responsibility of, as far as and taking fact too. Let them know that, hey, I'm here for you, but remember that you gotta provide, you gotta prove to me that you want this, and not just
Yeah.
ask, and I give, but I get nothing in return,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes, man. Sometimes, we end up doing, above and beyond. That's what we do,
Yeah.
you know. Um. So yeah, but at least for my mom, like we end up doing that for her. My sister, I know she told me she's like,
Have you
for
guys ever talked about that?
no, because it wasn't. I guess it wasn't a big deal. Um, she was just younger. She was going through her phase. Um, but she did it. She enjoyed it. Right, she had fun. Right.
Of course, it's a party.
Se dio en la madre en el baile de sorpresa, güey.
Yeah.
Hicieron como un swing dance. Y she was supposed to run out and do the sliding on your knees, sliding así chingón. Güey, que agarré que así, se le atoraron las rodillas, güey, se dio la madre, rodón. Oh, shit. My brother
Was
would have
that
known
was
him.
that
He would have
prior
found.
your AT&T days?
Uh, you know what? That was, yeah, yeah. I was because when I joined AT&T 20
Like
wait,
06,
2007. Oh
seven?
07. Oh 07. Uh and oh 07 I had turned 21. So es más, I think that year is when I joined AT&T. When it went down. Cuz I was 21. I was already 21 when I was in AT&T.
Okay.
Um oh, or was it before? No me acuerdo, but I remember I was already AT&T. You want to know why I know cuz I was at AT&T already? Porque tiene la pinche mosca, güey. La pinche cucaracha en el oído en las fotos.
The Bluetooth.
The Bluetooth, güey. Eso cuando estaban chingones los jawbones, remember?
It
Big ol'
was popular
cucaracha in
to
your
wear.
ear.
It was popular to wear
Oh
Bluetooth.
my god, bro. I still can't believe. And this is a gang of pictures. Bien chingón yo con mis lentes, güey, y mi pinche Bluetooth en la iglesia. Like, este fucking- it wasn't. It didn't even have A2DP, bro. So it's not like I was listening to music.
Right?
No, nada, güey. Pinche
Por si te
Bluetooth,
hablan,
güey.
güey, por si te hablan.
Sí, por si. Yeah. Hello.
Es que tú
Hello.
habla
Can you hear
Chris,
me?
tú habla Chris.
See, fuck, man. I think back now, I'm like, fuck. Dude, I think in her book, en her libro, güey, de las fotos que nos tomamos del puto parque,
Yeah,
ando con la pinche cucaracha.
that's funny.
Fuck. But anyway, um, sup everybody that just joined us on Instagram. I see some of the comments coming through. Uh, uh, my boy Steve, Adriana, George, you guys know what's up. Steve said that's back when Freud could hook it up. Yeah, that was some good times at AT&T retail, man.
Hey, bro, don't say that. I was his manager.
No, you weren't my manager when I took care of him.
Fools fucking giving shit away.
Oh man, loopholes. But yeah, man, like I guess taking a quick little step back then. So you're coming up, Chris, right? You're how old is Edie's?
She's 9. So
9. So you
so
have 3
5 years,
years to
because she'll
prepare.
be she'll be 10 in February. So
So in about 2 3 years, you got to kind of
oh
start
no, I'm
saving
already
some
prepping
money.
now, bro.
You're already all right.
Yeah, I'm already prepping now because I don't know. I
Has
haven't I haven't spoken to mom about it. I don't know if she's even there yet because they're the type that they're last minute. They're procrastinators, and I like to get it. I'd like to get
a head
I like
start.
to get prepared way, way, way ahead.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's good that you're starting, but has I know you said she's been getting exposed to them, uh,
I
like
already asked her.
parties with families. ¿Y qué dijo?
I already asked her. She said yes.
She wants one. Yeah, de seguro.
Yeah, she said yes.
Um, will you ask again when she gets
Yeah, of
older?
course. I'll probably ask her again next week.
You can't wait like until she gets a week older. Give her some time.
Yeah, no,
Maybe I'm saying,
I will
you
ask.
know, like,
I would definitely ask her a few times before that time, and we'll probably have a talk with her mom, and we'll see exactly what she wants to do. Depending, hey, this also depends on how she's doing in school and all that, because like they have it very very clear. There's no if the school doesn't look good, there's no gifts, bro. There's no happy times
it's good.
because this is a gift, bro.
Shit.
This is a gift, regardless of whether there's a party or a celebration. She's gonna be 15.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Well, whether it's a big pageantry or if it's just a little party for you and your
more than
friends.
likely it'll be low key.
You know what I mean?
Just because they've been low key lately. You know,
Simon.
the last one's like her primera comunión was very low key.
Yeah.
Adrian's primera comunión was low key too. So
But wait until outside forces come into play. And by outside forces means like what happened to my friend George.
friends,
Friends.
yeah.
Friends that start having the parties, friends that start doing this, friends that start doing that. Ahí es cuando I was like, ooh. Um,
Well,
yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time.
I'll tell you
Uh,
this, bro. From what I've seen so far, when we go to these meetings, when we go to these assemblies, father daughter dances, and all that, um, there is a lot of money in the area because I don't know if your daughter's school is ever going to do this, but at my daughter's school, they do father daughter dances every year. Y parece más baile de los papás, güey, que de las niñas, güey.
what?
Sí, güey, porque llegan unos, algo, normal, a bun-up shirt, either like some dark pants and some dressing shoes, just basic, casual. Pero hay unos que sí llegan, güey, todo fucking de tacuche, güey. You could tell what field they're in. I could see it far away what field they're in, and you could tell which other ones are your normal, 9 to 5ers, and you could tell the ones that are in other fields. But like the ones that are usually realtors, you could tell right away.
Llegan en limosina, llegan en.
No tanto limosina, pero sí llegan bien, bien acá, bien spiffy and shit. It's like this dark y con los lentes puestos, lentes oscuros puestos.
Andan bien coqueados por eso.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they're a little younger than me, maybe, or around my age. Pero de que hay dinero en Downey, hay dinero,
Yeah,
obviously.
bro,
Pero,
Downey is the Latino Beverly Hills.
yeah, pero también hay muchos que sí están, jodidones. And you could tell because, like, for example, I went to the lunch thing yesterday with my daughter.
Oh,
And
Simon.
it's sad, bro. There's a lot of kids que sus parents no fueron, güey. And I feel really, 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 really bad for those kids, because they're literally just waiting at the door. A ver si viene mamá, o a ver si viene mi papá, o mi tía, mi tío, o el pinche vecino,
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see how it plays. I would have to. Also, it depends if her mom wants to do it. She might say no. I can't. Cool. Well, yeah.
Ain't that some shit though? Like, let's
It
just say,
is,
let's
but
say, let's say, let's say, like,
in my way, whatever I had saved up for that party, right? Hey, Mika, look, this is yours. You can have it now. We can save it for your college. So when you need to buy a car, we buy you a car. Or we could invest it. So by the time you get this age, you could do whatever the hell you want with these, hopefully hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know?
or what if you just, again, this is always easier said than done, right? But what if you just, what if they say I don't want to have a party? Cool, and you just keep saving the money. Don't even tell them. Ni
Yeah,
les diga, es más, you want to pull a chunk out? Mira, mija, I had this for your party.
yeah.
You know, let's say you save up 20K, whatever. I don't know how much you'll save, right? I'm scared to think
It
about
could
the number
also
that
be
these fucking things are gonna cost.
if that was to happen, get two or three of your friends. Let's go to Disneyland and
You know
fucking
what? I
have
had
a
this money saved, pero not all of it, right?
yeah,
Maybe you keep saving that money, y
yeah.
con eso, pues, you know, when they get to college, aquí está tu carro para que no andes batallando. Aquí está para whatever, right? It kind of goes back to that other topic we had. You know, should we save for our kids? You know, to provide for them or whatever. I think we're talking about like should we save money for them or should we
I think
um,
in my situation, I would have to save just in case whether it does or doesn't happen. Because yeah, I'm gonna have to save that money regardless, you know, because I'm gonna have to provide the. If no, then I have to provide some sort of reconciliation gift or or a vehicle help her out with or you know help her out with the vehicle in that sense.
si es que quiere manejar, güey, porque, man,
Uh,
I've been seeing
uh,
some kids that don't
High
even
school
drive.
graduation gift as well. I mean, all these things
Yeah,
happen. So we'll see. We'll see what comes into play.
yeah. Este,
So Fausto was asking, what is the dance experience translated to quinceañeras? Well, I threw that in because Freud said that the friends are going to influence obviously each other whether to have the party or not. And what I was trying to say is that that school that my daughter goes to, you can tell that there's money in some of the families, and maybe those families are going to be the ones that are going to influence the other girls that either can't or don't want to or whatever it is. You know.
yeah. But to answer that question though, Chris, you know, uh, the what does that father dance experience translate? I mean, I think that's straight la despedida de niña a mujer. I mean, to put it plainly,
And you
you
know
know.
what, bro? I thought about it too, and it's basically without really thinking about it, it's kind of preparing you to have that dance because when you are having that dance, and I've already experienced it 3 times. Sí, güey.
Yeah,
You look at all the
of
dads,
course.
todos están de chillones, güey. I
Simon.
know it's kind of hard, not doing anything, but you could tell the ones that are really there for the girls. It gets emotional, bro, because they literally put one of the slowest love songs that ever existed, and you're having it with your baby girl, and you know that in less than 10 years you might have it again, and then when she gets married, you're gonna have it again, and it's those I guess subliminally getting you ready for that moment,
Again, it's plainly put. Ese baile de papá con su hija es despedida, güey.
Sí,
Es
güey.
despedida, es despedida de niña a mujer, right? It's plainly put. I think that's what it is. Without having to Google search this shit, right? Just growing up, knowing the culture, knowing the traditions, that whole fiesta is about the despedida, right? Um, that whole fiesta is about the despedida. So any ritual or pageantry that happens during the party and the celebration is essentially a despedida, right? el baile del vals es el what do you say, la presentación de la hija,
Yeah.
you know, you know, la misa es la bendición, you know, de suerte in, you know, your womanhood. Uh, and maybe back in the day it was more of a uh, and I'm spitballing here, but it was probably more of fertility, a fertility ritual, and a blessing, hoping that you are able to, you know, fulfill your duties as a woman and, you know, bring life to the world and, you know, kind of stuff like that. And that's kind of what it was. Pero but the whole thing, the whole event is supposed to symbolize the despedida from niña to mujer, and you know, and I guess that's what part of it is what makes it emotional, right? Um, you know, just seeing your little girl not as a little girl, she's all made up, you know, she's all made up and su vestidote y no sé. I mean, shit. My little girl, you know, she's 4, but she hits us up with, "Daddy, I love you very much." Ay, con eso me chinga, güey. I'm like, "Ta madre, pues se pongo a bailar en un vestido, me va a chingar." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, 100%, 100%. It's very emotional. Um, but here, let's see what we got going on. Personally, I think quinces and sweet 16s is unnecessary waste of money. Man, well, we've been talking about that the whole time,
That's what
Steve.
we talked about in the beginning.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
And
about
I
early.
mean,
Like,
I technically agree with it,
mm-hmm.
but then again, I'm not the one turning 15.
Yeah, right. Man, it's crazy. In Japan, they do it at 20. Well, I mean, other cultures maybe they do it at 20, but other cultures do this whole coming of age thing differently. I mean, there's some countries that marry you off at your coming of age. Shit.
Literally, literally. Okay, you
They
have to ask
marry you
you.
off. You're 16. You're married next year, and you're gonna
Yeah,
get
here's
married
this
to
guy that's
fulano.
32. Yeah.
It's Simon, and you got no choice, right? And that's what it was, and that's what it used to be. Um, you know, the different cultures, bro. There's like there's some cultures that they just do some cold blooded stuff, man.
Yeah.
But it is different cultures, different way of symbolizing and kind of pushing our little girls and our daughters into motherhood. But
What's a coda?
she would
Oh,
rather
coda.
you
Coda. Uh,
a coda. That's an exclamation point in
Was that
music.
like some sort of like indigenous type?
Hey, but coda isn't bad. Like I think coda is good nowadays
Well,
because
in the right places and at the right times, bro.
yes, but because but coda in the sense that he's talking about that she'd rather spend money on something else or save it other than use it. I get it. Yes, that's good because
So all
especially
right.
with the
So
culture and everything
right,
that's
but
on
that's
TV
kind
and
of
the shows and Instagram, it's like it's about this, bro.
all right. So that's
That's what
kind
it's
of
about.
his daughter like that. But say the daughter, your daughter is really girly, girly. Daddy do want to have the party, blah blah blah, this and that, and you don't, right? You don't do it because of whatever reason. And then when she's your age, we get to this topic again, and you're probably already in your 60s. Papá, ¿por qué no me hicieron mis 15? Yo siempre quise mis 15 y nunca los tuve y nunca tuve mi niñez and blah, blah, blah. You're not going to feel guilty?
Oh,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. But again, this goes back,
So do we
and I
worry
think.
about feelings or do we worry about
But
money?
here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. So where it goes back to a waste of money and not right. Like obviously it's important, right? We talked about what uh we talk about like all the tradition stuff that comes with it, right? But then you also talk about the way again that we're in this generation right now that we're trying to change the mold, right? We're trying to give our kids an option, trying to teach them to make educated decisions. You know, Steve's daughter, he said she's coda. She probably wouldn't want to spend all that money on a quinceañera. She'd rather buy a car and save it for a rainy day. Hey, you know what? That's a great lesson. And at your age, that is a great decision that you're making.
Of course.
This is the step that you took from being a kid to a woman. You made a grown up decision, right? That's the coming of age that you can kind of push for, right? And in a more we're trying to go to a more productive, a more positive way of thinking, and not necessarily thinking I gotta throw this big old party to because this is just the way things done. We'll still celebrate your birthday, but do you need it? Do you need to spend all this money for
That's the
one
whole.
day? You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
whole. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole
That's,
idea, right? And so I think having a party because you want to and you want to have those memories is one thing. Having a party because my friends had a party is a different thing,
yeah.
right? And I think
Yeah,
and that's
because
what I'm
when
saying. Like
you're gonna be competing with the Joneses, you're never gonna win.
exactly. Like yeah. And so this so now we're touching into something else, right? And Steve brings up a good point, right? So as a child, when you're 30 and 40 and struggling to make ends meet, would you rather have used that money more wisely and not have a
As
big
an
ass
adult,
party
as an adult, as an
as an
adult.
adult? As an adult. Um. So now we're thinking of we're taking it away from the kid now, right? Because
So
we've been talking about this whole time about
right,
what if we give it to our what if we give our kids a choice? Hold on,
become
hold on, wait,
parents.
hold on. But like we've been talking about how we've been giving our kids a choice. Do you want to do this? Do
Right,
this? Let's kind of teach them to make an educated decision on what they want to do.
right.
But what if now that Steve's bringing this up is what if you're working hard, you're doing the best that you can to provide for your family, and to have to save $10,000, $15,000 for a party on one day when your daughter turns 15 seems not impossible because as fathers you'll find a way and you'll make it happen somehow, but it just seems
Financially, in terms of financially,
it
it's
seems
retarded.
financially irresponsible in a way,
It's retarded. Yeah.
right? Like yeah, I get that, right? So I think it still goes back. It goes back to what are we telling our kids about money
This
growing
is
up?
it's hard,
Está
bro.
cabrón.
It's really hard because there's a lot of things that we do on a daily basis that are financially dumb that the whole world does, right?
Yeah,
There's people that buy cars at more than 10, 15% APR, and financially, that's the dumbest thing you could do.
yeah.
But there's no choice. You need a fucking car. You need to make this purchase, right?
I
You
mean,
need a
do you though?
Some people need when they have no other choice, they got to do it, bro. They got to do it,
Yeah.
right? At these time of in these times, a lot of people are. You're not gonna loan your credit to somebody else.
Mm-mm.
You're just not gonna do it. You've heard and you've seen too many stories of shit going bad, and you're just not gonna do it. Not only you're not putting your credit up to par, but by doing that, you're pushing back a lot of your family back into different
Yeah.
opportunities, right? From a lot of opportunities, it's the same shit. It's our parents did it in their income, and they could probably tell you that they were barely doing it or hanging on. Um, and I think that's where we differ as our as us being parents is that we are talking about it 10 years before, 5 years before, so that we don't have to put ourselves in that situation, Where
Yeah.
fuck, ya es el año que viene, y qué vamos a hacer?
Yeah. Now we have an interesting comment here because obviously we're just men talking about the things that we would do for our daughters.
Right.
We're fathers, we're brothers, we're husbands. But Adriana, she's your cousin,
She's my
your cousin,
niece,
no,
and
your niece.
I was actually in her quinceanera.
Yeah. So she just gave us an idea, right? And so she just turned 30. So half of her life ago, she had a huge party, and she said that she thinks it was a huge waste of money and not the smartest investment. She would have rather preferred to put it towards a car, college, or a down payment. Now I'm gonna ask this question. Adriana, was the quinceañera something that you pushed for, or was it something that your mom and dad pushed for? Did you have a choice in the matter?
I
Because
don't
I think,
remember. I don't remember, but her situation is a little bit like Adrian's. Okay.
okay, well, even then,
But
the
other than that,
question
I
still
don't.
stands.
Other than that, I don't know. I have
You
no
know,
idea.
but the question still stands. Did
Yeah,
she have a say?
yeah. I don't know. She
Right?
was.
As the one being celebrated, right? Right?
I
Because
do remember it was a nice party. It was a pretty big party. It was at a nice location.
yeah, and I think but I'm saying I'm kind of curious to know, without too many details. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
so it's something her dad pushed for.
Okay.
Interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. Um,
Well, I'll tell you this why. Okay. Culture and family.
yeah,
Again, her dad's mom, my aunt, could say is like your mom.
yeah,
So just put that into perspective.
okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah, but I think like
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah. I took the hint from Chris earlier, Adriana. Um, I think us being the parents now, right? Would it be the worst idea to ask our kids
Hold
if they
on.
want a
Let me
quinceañera?
ask Adriana this. Adriana, I don't know. I know we haven't really spoken about this, but do you think that it was more because of that situation of the divorce? Do you think it was more of your dad trying to show off to the family?
Mm-hmm. Many variables. It also has to do with the parents' current financial stance, or if quince is more traditional, they'll have to give. Oh yeah, padrinos. We haven't even talked about the padrinos yet. How large is the family? Daughters versus a bunch.
There
Yeah,
you
very
go.
good. Yeah. So that's what
Yeah.
it is. So,
And I asked that
so
again. I asked that because I know her dad very well.
yeah. So again, so this becomes it becomes one of those things that, are we having this party, this celebration? Like, what's the reason behind it? Is it because I threw this big ass party and I can afford it? I'm giving my daughter whatever she wants,
Yeah, I agree with you, Adriana.
you know? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think taking quinceañeras back a little bit, uh I mean, shoot, dude, like we I mean, that's the point, right? We're getting into this, but the quinceañera can come from different places, right? It can come from a place of love. You want to celebrate your daughter and you want to have this big party and you want to give her the world, and this is your princessy, blah 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 blah, right? It can be, I want to show off that I have this money and I want to invite everybody, and so everybody talks about my party. I want to, depending on the situation, I want to make sure that I don't do anything less than I should. Trying to make a statement of some sort. Like, I think it depends kind of how you look at it. But again, fundamentally speaking,
So again, like Fausto said, right? When I'm
yeah,
pretty sure he couldn't or he didn't do it. All the tias were trying to throw their money at him, making it seem like it was a money problem.
exactly. So that's what I'm
Whether
saying.
if they didn't know or not know, they always make it seem like if it's a money problem. And now, shit, if it was me, obviously I'd get insulted, you know,
Yeah, but
because
fundamentally
that is not
speaking,
the issue.
yeah, fundamentally speaking, that's the question. Not necessarily can I afford it or can I not. That's not the question. The question is, is it a waste of money? You know, is it a waste of money? And I think that's the part where you're fighting tradition, because tradition
Yeah,
tells you it's not a waste of money
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
quinceañera,
I guess
right?
I guess
It's like all those
you have to
iPhone people.
you have
I
to
like
look
my
at
phone
it.
because it's an iPhone.
You have to look at it in a way as if it's always been tradition in your family, then obviously it's something that you guys do as a family. Because for some families, it is second nature. It is just like waking up in the morning, like taking that first step. It's a normal thing to do, right? But to some other families that are more male dominant in the family, have more boys than girls, it's a once every other 5, 10 years, So is that now tradition, or is that are you, and if you're saying that it's for culture, do you really follow the culture, honestly? When
Yeah.
your daughter probably can't even speak Spanish,
A la verga.
you know? I'm gonna have a quinceanera. Like, no, why? Fucking can't even say it right, and trying to have a party that you don't even know what it's about.
No.
I just
Uh,
fucking make you a barbecue and invite your friends.
yeah, let me smoke a brisket. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know?
Um,
Yeah, it's
it's
like the iPhone users feeling entitled and shit,
no, it's like iPhone users. I want an iPhone because it's an iPhone.
right? He's a 10 and he has an Android now. What score is he? He's a 2. The
Oh,
fuck?
I heard that. I saw that the other day. I was like, that's stupid.
I'm like, I am not a 2. Maybe a 4.
um, but yeah, man. I mean, I think again, like whatever reason we may or may not have them, whatever reason our families may think we want them or don't want them, right? It's not necessarily because you know we're bad fathers. Absolutely not.
I think that
It's
has anything to
because
do with it. It has anything to do
that's what I'm saying. But again, I'm just trying
because
to think. I'm just trying to throw
you,
out.
you've
I'm
been a
trying to
good
throw out.
father for 14 years prior to that.
I'm trying to throw out. I'm trying to throw out what the outside people are gonna think. Right? It doesn't matter because what the decision you're making is like is it a waste of money? Is it not? Right? That's the question. Is it a waste of money or not? Right?
It definitely
And
can
so
be.
big time. I mean, I think you can have a quinceañera um that doesn't go ape shit, right? Have a quinceañera, all right, have it in your backyard.
Yeah.
It's fucking gonna pay for a salon, right? You want to have padrinos? Hey, will somebody make some birria? Oh, hey, I know so we'll make a big ass pot. Boom. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the big ass party like a wedding.
Yeah.
Celebrate it. And again, I don't want to offend any papas out there, right? If you are planning to have a huge party for your daughter and you want to do this, all power to you. That's your decision, and we respect it, and that's what you want to do, and that's fine. But I guess I'm just trying to open up a different option, right? Like I mentioned earlier, one thing that we're gonna try to do is give our daughter the choice. Do you want to have this
No,
party, or do you
dude,
want to do
I'm
something better with
already
the
I'm
money?
already thinking about a spreadsheet, and you know what? This is this is the value of the dollar now. This is what the that dollar can get you as a party, and this is the value of that dollar if you invested. Wait 10 years, 15 years, have it gain some compound interest, and look how much you're gonna have. You know,
Yeah,
and make them really see the value of that, because at the end of the day, that's what it is, bro.
yeah.
It's the value, you know.
Yeah. Now, my friend George here just posted. Obviously, we're talking about offering the money instead of the party, right?
Yeah,
Why don't
like I
we why
told
don't
you
we why
earlier.
don't we do this instead of that, right? Um, and then he says, well, then you're at the quincedo, and you see their face light up, and you see the family show up, and you see the milestones, you see the dance, blah blah blah, and maybe I should have just given in, but that's different.
But
because you can have all of that.
that's what I was
You,
talking about earlier.
yeah,
That's what I was talking about earlier.
you can have a lot of that without breaking the bank.
And this is what all the woulda, coulda, shouldas will come after any decision that is different from the norm, I guess, right?
Yeah,
You know, same thing.
but
I think those are just the things that are part of life. You know, we're always gonna have fuck, man. I should have done it, or I could have
yeah,
done it, or
yeah. Out of curiosity, and obviously we heard what your niece said, right? She years later she thinks it was a bad investment. She would have rather had a car or something
right.
else,
But
right?
years later, it's because
Yeah,
she
years
knows the
later.
value of that
Yeah,
dollar.
years later now, right?
You know?
So George, I ask you live aquí en vivo en directo. Uh, did the topic of giving her a choice of party or something else come up? Was that something that was presented? And you know, whether it came out or not, this isn't a judge area. I'm just curious. I'm curious because I'm curious how that conversation may have gone, or what was said, or what the decision tree looked like, right? Um, uh, Again, it's part of the conversation that we're having
So
here.
yes.
Yes, thank you. You
And
know,
Salcedo's about an hour behind.
yeah. I see reason behind the kids to introduce them to womanhood. Steve, whenever we're done here, I invite you to join and re-listen to the first 20 minutes of the podcast, to what we have spoken, about everything that I gave you a, Encyclopedia Britannica definition. I read it, the orígenes de la quinceañera en español, for our people out there. But yes, you are 100% correct on what that is. Um, but I guess what we're trying to figure out now is that other part, right? Like, giving them the choice, not necessarily going the traditional way, and how that would look like, right? How that would look like, how that would sound like.
Yeah, because I have an aunt that has three girls, and I don't think any of them had a quinceañera. Not that I remember, and
Yeah,
they seem fine.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, hey, look, I feel like this is always a topic that's gonna, like, we can probably touch on this topic a couple times, because I think especially if the topic that Steve posted up we talk about next talks, I think it's gonna kind of go
Which
hand in
has
hand,
to,
right?
it'll come up with this because
Yeah,
at
it'll
least
go hand in
as
hand.
Hispanics it comes up, you know.
Simon.
Um,
So yeah, no, I mean it's definitely something that's obviously it's easy to talk about when we haven't kind of gone through it ourselves, or haven't done it, or aren't in the planning stages. George
yeah.
just kind of went through it, right? He's kind of explaining what happened. Um, but I guess he was mentioning that the outside forces is kind of what changed his daughter's
And it's always
mind.
gonna be outside forces, bro, for everybody. I know
So
with me, when the time comes, if I decide that either I can financially or I don't want to, oh my god, I'm gonna be the worst dad ever.
yeah,
You know?
but are you though? Think
I
about it,
know I'm
Chris.
not. I know I'm
I
not, and I know my daughter's not gonna say that.
but
But
I
it's
think
like you're saying, outside voices,
yeah,
outside forces are gonna say that. And if you ask me if I care or not, I really don't. You know, because
like
the only thing I care is for my kids and whatever they perceive me as, but that's it.
like
And I know I'm not a bad father because I have other stuff that is gonna help them later on when they graduate from high school, when they graduate from college, you know, and all that stuff.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Steve. Chris, like like all those lessons and all those um ideas and ways of thinking and lessons that you're teaching them now, when they get to that point, when you make a point or you make an explanation, it's going to be hard for them to understand if for whatever reason you can't make it happen. But at the end of the day, they'll understand, right?
Yeah.
Now, if and for any of you people out there, you dads out there that went through it, that maybe did or didn't hear these conversations fucking 7 years ago, right? Um, uh, what would it have changed if you were able to have these types of conversations before? Maybe you had them. I don't know. You
Hmm.
know, uh, but thinking about again, trying to remold fatherhood, right? Trying to change papas, trying to change the way we do things in the future. Being able to think ahead and say, you know what, I'm gonna teach you things today that when and if we get to that, it's not something that you're gonna feel entitled to. It's not something that you're gonna feel like I need to have, or you guys are the worst parents ever. Although it might happen a little bit either way because you're gonna be 15. Um, like
Yeah,
at
we're gonna be
least
worse parents one day or another.
yeah, you're at least planting seeds of educated decisions and smart choices and grown-up decisions, and we do things for a reason, we don't do things for a reason. Like you're instilling those lessons now so that when they're older and they get to the point where they can make the decision, hopefully they make the decision that makes the most sense, at least to us, right? But at the same time, like it puts them, not only us, but it puts them in a good position to make a grown up decision when the time comes. If that makes
Yeah.
any sense.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just, I mean, with how shit is, let's just hope we can actually even get to that point, you know.
Yeah,
Which obviously that's another topic to talk about. You know?
sure.
But yeah, no, it's definitely something that I have to start putting on a slow burner already, and fucking start really getting serious about it. Maybe have a talk with their mother and see exactly if the mom says, you know what, let's just save up the money. Let's get them through school. Let's get them through a vehicle. Then cool. You know, obviously, también that as well. I think as long as both partners are on the same page as well, that makes it easier for everybody. You know.
Simon.
And at the end of the day, if it's not gonna happen, the child has to understand, regardless of what the situation could have been or is. Sooner or later in the future, they will realize that the correct decision was made for them,
Yeah,
and it was made for them, not for anybody else.
exactly.
You know? So
Cool. Well, everybody, we have reached the end of the road today. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. Steve, George, thanks for coming in here. Adriana, thank you for throwing in some nuggets. Brian, like always, you guys are the best. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate the feedback. It really makes these conversations a lot more interesting when we have people kind of engaging with us. So I thank you guys very much. Share these videos to anybody you see out there. We're gonna try to get some snippets and post them up on Instagram, so we can keep the conversations going because we only have a limited amount of time here where we can kind of talk and get into this, right? Or else we'll be here all night. But I mean, I think it's a good talk, you know. As we keep moving, we'll have interesting talks and good conversations. But I think it was a good one today, Chris.
yeah,
So hats off to you on finding a good topic for us today. But I think next well, end of the month we'll have a really good one. We're gonna either have it on a Monday or maybe we'll have it end of the week or something, or maybe a week before. Quién
yeah,
sabe?
because of Halloween, guys.
Because Halloween and Halloween in itself is something interesting. Maybe we'll wear a costume to the car or something. I don't know.
There
It'll
you
make
go.
it interesting.
There
Um,
you
but other than that, Chris, you got anything else for the people out in internet land?
go. No, man. Just again, thank you for everybody that participated. Again, we really appreciated making these calls, making these lives, and I guess we'll keep in touch. Yeah, for whatever's coming up.
Sweet, and yeah, we'll stay connected with y'all. Appreciate it. But for now, Y'all have a good night. Go hug your partners. Go hug your children. Send them a message. Whatever you got to do. Uh, be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Good night.
Yeah, don't forget